Welcome!
Hello!
Welcome back, everybody. Happy opening day!
Yes,
Not.
Kinley and I are wearing our Braves jerseys in honor of the Braves opening day, which is supposed to be today, but it is not. But we wore the jerseys anyway, so that's fun.
That is.
True
We're
fan.
ready for baseball to be back.
We are, and life in general, because the virus it's crazy. It's done some things.
It's done some things. It's
So.
definitely done some things. But it hasn't kept us from movies, right?
That's right.
Best time to get caught up on all your shows.
Exactly. And for this show, we did Frozen 2, which is available on Disney Plus. So if you haven't watched it, pause, go watch, and then give this a listen, or don't.
But definitely give this a listen.
Yeah, exactly. Beth, go with our theme song.
Our theme song? Into the Unknown?
I just wanted to see what you would do. I was hoping you would just belt out in a
Sean
song.
just
I mean, we can
bringing
go
things
for it,
on
you know.
That was nice. That was a nice little touch. Oh yeah, do your version. We're thinking of
It's our
cats.
cat version of
We definitely need to see
No.
a cat version of this.
Can you tell we've been inside too long?
So, yeah, if you have a great rendition of Into the Unknown,
Let us know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Send it.
Please send
it
a
to
video
us. We
to
want to
us.
hear it.
especially if there are cats.
Yes, we like cats.
We may even feature it in the next episode.
Who
Who
knows?
knows? I know.
Depends on how
But
good your video
do
is.
you know? Exactly. It's got to be good. So anyway, so we'll switch gears to talking about the movie. Beth, what happens in Frozen 2?
Frozen 2, yes. Well, for those of you who, for whatever reason, have not been in touch with the Disney World, this is the sequel to Frozen. We have two sisters. One has magical powers and one doesn't. Elsa is the Snow Queen. But Frozen 2 picks up after Frozen, and we find everyone living their best life, and the elements of earth, air, wind, and fire. Well, earth, air, water, and fire. Those are your four elements there.
Nailed it.
Thank you, thank you. They run everyone out of Arendelle, the kingdom, and so in order to save the kingdom, Anna, Elsa, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven decide to go to the Enchanted Forest and see what's going on. So that's like our base premise right there.
Exactly. So, the beginning begins at the beginning, as all beginnings do, with a story.
With a story. Yes, so this is, are we ready to talk spoiler zone? Are we entering the spoiler
Yes.
zone right now?
Spoilers.
We are in the spoiler zone.
We're entering the unknown.
Uh-oh.
Into the unknown.
Oh!
All right. Done with that.
Okay, so basically, if you haven't watched and you don't want to know the spoilers, this is the time to peace out. If you have watched or if you don't care about spoilers, here we go. We're ready to talk about all the
Here
things.
we go.
So we open up with this really cute scene of Elsa and Anna. They're playing with little snow figurines that Elsa's making, which is pretty amazing, I must say. It's time to go to bed, so their dad tempts them with a great bedtime story of his experience in an enchanted forest. So they're eagerly listening about this enchanted forest, and he tells about the time where their grandfather, the king of Arendelle, built a huge dam in order to help the Northuldrup people. Northuldrup, anyway.
Northuldra,
Something.
right?
Yeah.
The Northies.
The Northuldrup people.
The
In the
indigenous group.
Yes, in the Enchanted Forest. So he builds this dam to help them. They all come together for a big party, and then, you know, like, they're experiencing the Enchanted Forest for the first time with the four elements, and it's very magical, and everybody's having fun. And then all of a sudden, war breaks out. No one really knows why. People are fighting with swords. It's really bad. The king dies, and then Anna and Elsa's dad he's probably like 12, 13 about this time. He gets injured, someone saves his life, and he goes home, the king of Arendelle. The Enchanted Forest cuts everybody off. Nobody can go in or out. So that is quite the bedtime story. Quite the bedtime
That's
story.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then their
Solid.
mom tops it all off with singing a song about a magical river. called Atahalan, which is a great little ballad.
How's it go, Beth?
I don't even remember.
I looked up the lyrics.
Ah.
I
And
really I'm not a great singer.
I
can
was
sing
waiting.
it for
I thought I
you.
had her for a song again. I'm
It's just,
gonna get her to sing.
I mean, you know, I'm not a great singer.
I don't remember how
But
it went.
we can go for it if you really
Because
want
I'm
that.
afraid I'm going to go into Merida, one of Merida's songs.
A Merida song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I looked up the lyrics, and I don't know if this was a real song. I don't think it was, but these lyrics are definitely in a different language.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Dun, dun, dun.
I was like, oh.
Give us a line, Genly.
In het Norden wir van her.
Watch your mouth.
Hopefully you're not saying anything
Stroomt in
insulting.
Oud Machish Rivier. I think I did a good job pronouncing
I
that.
think so too. Something
Yeah.
about
What?
a river.
What language
Something about a
is it?
river.
If it's in a different language, what's the language?
I have no idea.
Norwegian?
Norwegian is what I'm assuming, because they're in.
Norway?
That's where they are in Epcot. What?
It is.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I have a question about this story.
Yeah.
What was the selling point of building the dam?
The selling point.
Why did they build them a dam?
It was a gift.
It was a gift.
Right.
It was supposed to help them.
Gift.
Right.
It was supposed to flood the upper plain and help
Oh, okay.
help them
They
Keep
said
more
that.
water.
They
Have
said
more
that.
Well,
resources.
that's why I asked, because I don't
water
remember.
things, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So we have that. We have this great little lullaby that's kind of ominous, but they talk about this magical river where you can go and you can find out what you want to know, but if you go too deep, you won't come back. So,
Oh.
you know, your quest for knowledge is will get you if you go too far.
Oopsies.
So that's how we wrap up their memory of when they're little. And then we come to present day. It's autumn in Arendelle. Olaf is chilling out in the sun. He's literally,
He's everyone's favorite,
He's
right?
so great.
He's
I love
everyone's
Olaf.
favorite.
He now has permafrost, so he no longer needs a little cloud, and he's not going to melt. Like, he is in a great life situation, I have to say, for a snowman.
Yeah.
But he's also apparently gotten very smart and is a very deep thinker. And is talking about how change mocks him and how things are dying around him and all this stuff, and he's really worried about change.
Here's a good line. I can't wait till I get older when I don't have to worry about all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't wait, Anna, when I'm old like you. You don't have to worry about anything.
Ancient.
And I know all the things.
You're ancient.
Yes. So he thinks she's ancient and that she knows everything, and that the older you get, the better off it'll be. Which, I mean, it's true in some ways.
Yes. And so I love this song that they sing about some
Oh, yes.
things never change. Love the song. The irony is, after the song, everything changes.
Everything changes.
Everything. But I did like that song. I thought it was a really neat little, like,
Yeah.
I think we
just,
could say that about the whole movie. They were
Yeah,
great songs.
they
There
were.
wasn't one I didn't like.
They were
I
all
agree.
very good.
I loved Olaf's about, what was it about? Oh, we just talked about it earlier.
That's what he's talking about.
Is it the same when you're talking about the Olaf sings?
no, in the forest.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And,
that
it all
all
makes
makes
sense
It
when
all
I'm older.
It all
Yeah.
makes sense when I am older. Yeah.
I guess that'll make sense when I'm older.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh,
That was good.
so great. The music
my
was
favorite
wonderful. So we've got Elsa. She's reigning in the kingdom. Things are going great. Anna is loving having the gates open. She's getting to see people. And then we have poor Kristoff, who is madly in love with Anna. He's ready to propose, and the guy has no game. He's struggling, and Sven is trying to help him.
Sven.
But the struggle is real. He keeps dropping the ring, and he keeps starting off with weird and awkward lines. And I just feel for the guy. It's really cute.
Kinley, did you practice in a mirror saying the words before you proposed?
I did.
You did?
Did you?
I didn't. I just kind of winged it. I just wasn't sure if you did or not.
I did practice, and I didn't say one thing. I said one. I said one
I think
line.
that you
At
practiced.
least I think I remember nothing when I proposed, and I
kind of
like
like
I
that.
remember a couple of lines that I said, and other than that, what I said, I don't remember. But Ashley doesn't remember the surrounding because I did it outside the Peace Center, and this family walked by and applauded when we stood up, and she doesn't remember that. She was just in shock.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I didn't practice.
The only thing
anyway.
I did, it was all in my head, but like leading up to it, I said her full name a million times in my head so I wouldn't say the wrong thing.
in case
I'm like,
he's
what
gonna
if I like froze and said a different name or something? I was like, that would be terrible. Or if I blanked, like, what was her middle name?
What's your name again?
I don't know if I said her name.
So,
I
I
wanted
think I
him to
did.
say my
She knew I was talking to her. It was okay. It's fine.
That's so great.
but we feel the struggle. We understand. It's a pressure.
It is a pressure. I had anxiety. I wasn't nervous because you know what she was going to say. And I feel like this is like Christoph here. He doesn't think she's going to say no. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But he's just beyond scared. And this is out of his natural element. I think even having a ring, you know, he's a rough guy, kind of rough and tumble. Having a ring is definitely not in his wheelhouse. So I think there's a nervousness there too. So anyway, we've diagnosed this pretty well, I think,
I like
guys.
it. I like
Yes,
it. So
in
this
depth.
is where Christoph is at. The anxiety, sweating it out, trying to
Can
find the right
relate.
moment, and he struggles the whole movie. But we'll keep you updated
So
on this as we
funny.
go. So then we have like family charades, which is great. Olaf definitely cheats and like reforms his body to whatever they need it to be. He and Christoph like crush it.
My favorite clue, he has his like, you know, his different parts are kind of on top of each other, and they just kind of walk like this, and they're like Elsa going to that when she did that from Let It Go in the first movie. That little, you know, I loved that. There's another couple little like nods to the first movie, and specifically that part later on. That I like, but that
man.
was the first and my favorite. So.
It was great.
And
pretty
Olaf
good.
breaks the fourth wall during that song earlier, and kind of he says something about like you're getting older too, and looks at all the the camera because
Oh, he
for
did,
kids
didn't
watching
he?
it, like they're older, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, which was great. It
good.
was
Olaf
a
breaks
good little
all the
moment
rules.
there.
It's totally okay, because everyone's like, it's Olaf. He's
It's
allowed to
Olaf.
do
It's
that.
Olaf's world.
Yeah.
We're just living in it.
that's
That's
right.
true. That's true. What a great world to live in, though.
Absolutely.
But then, like, they do the girls' team. Anna is guessing. Elsa is supposed to be acting out. She obviously is not great at this. But then, before she can really get going, she hears this little that we've been hearing. And no one
That was
else
beautiful.
hears her besides, no one else hears this voice other than Elsa. And so she gets very distracted. They lose.
Loneliness.
She decides to leave, and then Kristoff takes this moment to try to propose. He's all ready. He's got the mitt
So awkward.
for his breath, and he's on one knee with the ring. Anna is completely oblivious and runs to go check out on her sister to see what's going on. So once again, a failed proposal, but he tried. It was well done. Then so they're there. Anna checks on Elsa. They sing their song from their mom again. They kind of comfort each other. And then in the middle of the night, Elsa wakes up and hears the voice again. So this time she decides that she's going to go after it and see what's going on. And she accidentally wakes up the Four Elements. So
We had the best
Awful.
song in the movie, Into the Unknown.
yes, this is such a great song. It is definitely my favorite.
Just her debating, you know, does she follow this voice? Does she not? She says something like, I've already had my adventure, you know. I love that.
Yeah, because she knows like things are going really well and she's happy and she has Anna and a new family. But at the same time, there's part of her who knows that she's meant for something bigger. And so it's like a really good struggle that she's going through.
Yeah. I definitely like that song better than the Let It Go song. Like, I feel like it topped it. But it may just because
Don't
it was
hate on Let It
it was
Go.
overplayed.
And it's still pretty new right now. I feel like when we hear it more, you may.
That's true, but even before, because I saw Frozen, the first Frozen, when
Well
it
after.
came on DVD. I didn't see it in theaters.
Didn't you watch it with me?
And I saw it on a plane, and it was, it was already stuck in my head before I'd even seen the movie, and I was sick and tired of it. But this song, I'd only heard it like once, which was at the Oscars, and they sang it. It was really good. And I was like, what is this cool song?
Which was not a good version of the Oscars, we'll just say. They did not do wonderful.
Didn't do it justice. But
It was really good.
But
The
it's-
Panic at the Disco version is awesome. At the credits.
it is so good. That is my favorite version. I mean,
well.
I've played it probably 100 times by now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, it's great. I really do love that song.
Yeah.
So she wakes up to form elements, and the elements kind of run everybody out of Arendelle. Like the earth is moving, the water cuts off, the wind blows people out. I'm not really. I guess the lights
The,
go out.
the lamps go out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the fire's gone.
So they're like
Scary.
outside of the kingdom now. Nobody knows what's going on. And then the trolls roll in.
Oh yeah.
Not enough screen time for the trolls.
I love
I
the
agree.
trolls. I love the trolls. They're crazy.
Needed more trolls.
In there for 2 seconds.
Kristoff's crazy family needs more screen time. Let's be real. But basically, he tells her, like, you got to go figure this out. Like, you've woken up the elements. It's a problem. I can't see the future if you don't fix it. Also, something about, like, you have to right the wrong in the past.
Yeah.
What?
I think it's like, if I can't see the future, you know what that means? And everyone's like, no, what does it mean?
What does it mean? Like,
just a
if
funny
you're
part to me.
normal, like
Yeah,
the rest of
that's
us who
good.
can't see the future, I mean, I don't know. So they head off to the Enchanted Forest.
Yep.
Anything else we want to talk about before we move
I
into the
do have a
Enchanted Forest?
question. So
Yeah.
guesses, because I don't think they say it. How long after the first one do you think this is? I have my opinion.
I was wondering that myself.
I think it's 3 years.
I assumed
3
I
years?
Because they said their parents died 6 years prior.
And it was 3 years in the first one.
Look at you with that little clue.
I was really off. I thought it was 6 months.
I thought it was
6
like
years.
Let me just
3
tell
I
you.
think it was 3 years.
If
'cause it was 6
you
years total.
are dating a princess, don't you wait 3 years.
That was like,
to
wait a minute,
propose.
why are we waiting 3 years?
I
I
thought
think
it
it was
was-
3 years from the first one.
Well, that would make
I
sense
think
because I
so.
think it came out.
3
Has it
years
been 3
later,
years
right?
ago?
No, it's been a lot longer.
No,
It's
it came
been
out
longer.
December 24, 13. December 2013.
Has it
I wanna
been
say.
that
November or
long?
December.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 13.
Yeah.
Woof. All right,
Yeah.
never mind.
It's been 7.
I think it was supposed to be 3 years from the first one.
I definitely thought.
Well, I guess technically it was 6.
That's-
When it came,
what?
yeah, 6 years in between because this came out in 2019. So
Right.
Yeah, but the timeline of the story was
It's
the
3
movie
years after
started
that.
3 years after their parents' death, and then
Yeah.
this one she said, our parents have been dead for 6 years now, so that's 3 years timeline wise.
I
Although
felt-
it's been 6 years.
I felt like it was. I felt like it was set up to be a lot quicker, just because of
I thought- I was a few
specifically the
months.
engagement.
Yeah.
And they're going into autumn, winter, and of
Yeah.
course the first one is set, I think, during the springtime.
Yeah.
Because when Arendelle goes under snow, that's what's
Yeah.
such a big deal because
Yeah.
no one's prepared. So
Right. That
spring,
makes sense,
summer.
yeah.
So I was thinking it would just be a few months after
I
that.
could be
but-
wrong about
No,
that,
that
but-
makes sense if that's what they said. And I remember them saying 6. I just didn't remember the first one was 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that proposal part just messes me up. But I guess they weren't officially dating.
Right.
So he probably took him a year to like get around to asking her on an official date.
well, she was engaged for like a hot 5 minutes to a
That's
villain,
right.
So
Then they probably dated for a year before he decided he could find a ring. Then it probably took him a year to pick out a ring. So here we are.
Here
And
we
who
are.
knows how long he's been trying to propose? He could have been trying to propose
Could have
for
been
2
a year.
years. Who knows?
Oh, so true.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there you go. Good to know.
The best way to do it is to just pick a date and say, I'm doing it on this date. Try to make a plan and go for it.
Make it happen.
I like
Plan
that
A,
advice.
plan A worked for me. So
It was not my plan A. My plan, the ring got done earlier, and I was like, I can't wait. I'm doing
oh
it
yeah,
tomorrow.
that's right.
So I
That's
did it.
right. Yeah. And that's totally
Do it
fine.
tomorrow.
I did the same stuff I was gonna do. I just did
Yeah.
it 2 weeks earlier, and it worked out well.
Exactly.
So,
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
there you go.
So
Anyways,
Anyways,
So they forest in that forest. They're in it.
the enchanted
It's
forest.
enchanted.
They find it. Oh, and like the great piece of advice that Grandpappy is that like
Grandpappy Troll.
Grandpappy
That's
Troll
right.
gives is that we've always worried that Elsa's powers are too powerful,
Oh,
and now they
yes.
may not be powerful.
may not be enough.
So a little
deep.
What a line.
ominous.
Thanks, Grandpappy. A lot of help you.
It's like a fortune cookie.
He's always giving like these really
Fortune
ominous
rock.
like pieces of advice.
I feel like if you, like in the last one, he could see, if he's saying now, I can see no future, but in the last one he could. Why didn't he give them a better roadmap last time?
I was supposed to ask that question.
I am supposed to ask that question. Because Grandpappy gave some terrible advice
He
in this one.
He did. Or the
Anyway.
parents interpreted it big time. One of the two.
There you
One of
go.
the two. But they get to the Enchanted Forest. There's this huge fog. These giant stones with the 4 elements carved on them appear, and Elsa is able to open up the fog with her powers. But as soon as you're on the other side, the fog closes and she can't open it back up.
They're stuck in there.
Olaf loves running at the wall of fog.
Oh yeah.
Dad said it.
Bon-
It says back in
bon-
pieces. gets together
He
and runs
likes
at
it.
it again.
He really enjoys it. It's great. They meet the wind spirit, which is like a tornado that comes through and picks them all up, and they.
I shall name you Gail.
Olaf names the wind spirit Gale, which I think is funny
Yeah.
because a gale of wind. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
thought
I
it was
Words, it was
perfect.
funny.
Yes, that's great. So Elsa gets caught up in. They're all caught up in it. The rest of them kind of get left behind, and then Elsa, in order to stop like this little tornado thing that's happening, she freezes it.
Blasts her way out of there.
One of Olaf's new annoying habits is that he's full of facts right now.
Who likes trivia? I do.
He's constantly spouting out trivia that no one cares about. But you
I
know,
can't even remember. What were some of the things he said?
Well, there were a lot of random ones.
memory.
Water has memory is one where, like,
yeah.
he
That's
says
an
water has
important
memory, but he had already mentioned it like earlier on, and so here they said, Olaf, what's that thing? What's that thing you say about water? He's like, the one about cucumbers, and then we don't hear anything else about it. I died at that part. That was so funny. Anyway, sorry.
it was so great.
Random things get me, and that one got me in a
like,
good
it
way.
was great. Like his trivia was so random
Yeah.
and amazing. And at one point they tell him that, you know, you need to sleep on the journey, and he doesn't believe them, and he's gonna look it up when he gets back.
Yeah. That's
So
funny.
we can definitely see he's aging.
Yeah.
He's into that. Asking all the questions. Yeah.
So when they go through the mist, she uses her powers to open it. They go through, and then they can't go back. Why can't she just use her powers again to open it again?
She tried to.
She tried
It
to.
blasted
Right,
back.
but like,
It bounced back.
I guess I should say, why did it bounce
It-
back? Is it
'Cause
more?
it knew they had
so
to
it
write
let
the
them
She
Okay.
had a
Okay.
purpose to fulfill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they needed her to stand to fulfill it.
I didn't know if
so-
like her powers drained or something, but then she had a lot of power to stop that tornado.
Yeah,
So I guess.
yeah.
Never
And
mind.
actually, they got halfway through, and it pushed them
Yeah.
in the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So they,
That's true.
they
Okay,
couldn't
that
change
makes
their
sense.
mind. So.
She may not have been able to hold it open all the way.
Yeah.
But
Could
what you want to talk about? What the memories were that when she froze the wind?
Oh yeah, so when she freezes the wind, there's like some sculptures that appear because water is also ice and memory is in the ice. It's like a frozen memory, if you will.
I love it.
That-
And
wind.
you see, there was a sculpture of, I think I'm saying this right, when they find out who saved their father.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what it was. So it was a sculpture of who saved their father, and it was the mother. What?
Which they didn't realize at
They
first.
didn't.
They didn't realize
They
at
were
first.
like, oh, this must be who saved father.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So they're there with all these frozen memories. We do have Olaf, who previously had gotten lost. This is where your favorite song comes in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That's
love
great.
he hears a noise and he goes, Samantha? And then he just starts laughing and he's like, I don't even know a Samantha. I thought that was so funny. It's one of my favorites.
That was funny.
I love how he keeps calling her too. He calls her name like 2 more times. Samantha? Wait, I don't know Samantha. Samantha? No, just kidding.
Was it Samantha?
Well,
pretty
throughout
good.
his whole song too, but this is before the wind tornado.
Yes, before
we
the wind
see
tornado.
all the 4 elements in their aggression states. So we
Yes.
see the crazy wind,
Mm-hmm.
and his whole song's like, it'll all make sense when I'm older, not have to be scared. We see the fire, kind of jumping all over the place. We see the water kind of come up and shoot him out. We see a footprint of the stone giant. So we see all the 4 elements in their aggravated states, and that's really, I thought it was just neat to kind of see them all, put throughout there, kind of showing us what we're going to get into, like piece by piece. And then, of course, we have the tornado, and Elsa, for lack of a better word, tames that, kind of wins over the wind element or the air element. And so
It's
it's
much
just nice.
friendlier
It's much
afterwards.
friendly. It's Gale with the little leaf that just goes around. It's nice,
She waves
She waves.
with
Yes.
her friendliness.
It's good.
My brain stopped. Keep going.
Okay.
I had a question about that. Oh, I remember what it was. Do we, at this point, do we find out what the fire actually is, or is that later?
In
No,
just
not
a
yet.
Few moments.
Okay, just a few moments.
It's coming
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't spoil
So
it.
after they see the ice
We'll
sculpture
spoil
of their
it now.
dad being staged by a girl, which later they find out is her mother, they encounter Arendelle soldiers, which is crazy. They've been stuck in this forest for like 37 years or something.
And y'all, you know what? When that scene came up, I definitely thought that they had inserted themselves into a memory. I thought we were flashing back to the past.
Oh,
So
that would
I-
It took me a minute. I was
trippy.
like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
I thought they were in a time lock for a minute because I'll just tell you, those soldiers did not look like they had been camping
They
out
look like
in
they
the
just got
forest.
there.
They look like they just got there. When you get up close, you can see how they've tried to make them grayer
a little
Yeah.
grayer, but they're like fit.
Which is why I thought we had kind of jumped back. I was like, what is going on here?
So as soon as I saw it, and because we see that we have the soldiers and the North Aldra people at the same time kind of
Yes.
come up against each other, and then I'm literally thinking they're locked in time.
Yeah.
Like the forest is like a time something.
Oh, that would have been trippy.
But it was
Yeah.
not. They were just there for like 30-something years and didn't age or were able
Stuck.
to. And we never saw where the soldiers lived. Like, did they
Yeah.
have
They didn't, you're right.
tents or huts or a
Hammocks.
change of clothes in 30 years?
No,
or,
that's all
you
they
know?
had.
That would have been rough. Yeah. So they're like fixing to go at each other. They're arguing. Clearly, they don't get along. They've both been stuck in this forest for a very, very long time. And Elsa throws out some ice to separate everybody. And Olaf decides to take it upon himself to explain
What
is
brought
going on.
them there?
What brought them there?
Oh, yes.
I love his recap.
And he basically recaps the first movie, which is great.
Hilariously.
He's like, doors closing everywhere, sisters torn apart. It's very dramatic.
And that
So,
one.
he does the walking.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, I live.
I really loved the soldier's reaction.
Yeah,
He
that's what I was about
so
to say.
emotionally engaged in Olaf. He's like, oh, no, Anna, no. Don't do it, Anna.
He's like, what was the evil guy in the first one's name again?
Hans.
Hans.
It's like, I don't really love you. And he goes, what?
Oh, it's so great.
Which was perfect because that was our reaction when we watched that. Like, when you watch the first one, they just kind of mirrored that reaction of the soldiers. It was perfect. I loved it.
The recap is amazing. You should definitely try to find that on YouTube. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. If not, watch
Or
the
Disney
movie
Plus, yeah.
on Disney Plus. But it's so great. So he catches everybody up. We recap the first movie.
Here we are.
And then they notice that Elsa has this shawl that is Northaldra. And Northaldra.
Northaldra.
I'll get it right
Maybe
eventually.
From one of the oldest families.
Yeah, the oldest families. And then they go back to the ice sculpture, realize that that was their mom who had saved him.
It was her.
And so they are
shawl.
from both warring people. The Arendelians, I guess that's how you say it.
Northaldrins and Arendellians.
Yeah.
Arendellians? Wouldn't you say?
Arendelians.
That sounds about right.
Those Arendelians, I tell
We're
you
just gonna
what.
go with it. Yeah. So everybody's kind of like on the same page now, and everything's great. And then all of a sudden, things start catching on fire.
Oh, yes.
This is the part.
This is the part I was thinking of.
This is your part.
You just see this little fire just jumping around,
Jumping.
and you think it's like magic fire or something.
It's catching everything on fire.
It is, everything
Trees.
it touches.
Everybody's
That's
running,
true.
trying to get back to home base to protect it.
And Elsa was attacking it with ice and trying to stop it, and it kept jumping around, and she finally corners it. And it turns out it's a little salamander.
So
Do they have a name for it?
Bruni.
Bruni the salamander.
Did they name it?
Really?
It was never mentioned in the movie, but it is listed.
Do they have
online.
somebody voice Bruni's weird noises on IMDb?
He's like
No.
clicking.
No, it's just they named the
They just
character
like
Bruni.
That is
Cooking,
cute.
so-
You can get little Bruni tennis shoes.
What?
Frozen.
Do they come in size men's 12?
Probably not.
Darn.
But he is a
They
cute
light
little
up.
Oh my goodness, he was so cute. And you're like, you just caused all this destruction, but you're adorable.
And he loves the snow. He loves like touching Elsa's hands and like, ooh, like cooling down.
Yeah.
And he turns, he does. He turns blue when he cools down.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Yeah,
He's really adorable.
It's like
And
how we feel when we get in a hot tub. It's like his opposite.
very true. Very true.
That's what I do.
When
Like,
y'all get out.
So that's
Yeah, sorry.
so we see Elsa kind of win over or tame the wind spirit, and now she wins over or tames
fire.
the fire spirit. So
And the little salamander, Bruni, can hear the voice like Elsa can. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I actually voiced it in the original motion picture.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm just making this connection that the reason they both can hear it. Well, never mind. We'll get to that.
No spoilers yet.
Sorry.
Or spoiling
It's
as
like-
we go.
Spoilers.
Spoiled too early.
They're all
We haven't hit
Horcruxes.
expiration date yet.
Can't totally throw in a new genre.
Can and I did.
The They go back to the North Aldra camp.
You got it right that time.
Thank you. It was a struggle. Kristoff
Third time's
meets
the charm.
a new buddy who is a reindeer
Oh my gosh.
herder.
Ryder.
I had to look
Ryder,
up what
yes,
like
his name
a
was Ryder.
reindeer person was, but apparently they're a herder.
Herder.
So
Good to know.
yeah,
Like sheep.
yeah, like sheep. But yeah, I was like,
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
You heard? Oh,
Sorry.
Heard with bird.
and finds out that this guy also talks for the reindeer. So they're like best buds instantly.
Best buds.
Yeah, and then he finds out Kristoff is trying to propose, and he's like, dude, I got you. We have this big dramatic thing we can do. Let's go make this happen. So Kristoff and this
Sunrise.
reindeer guy go tearing off into the woods. Then all of a sudden there are earth giants who appear. Everybody's freaking out, running away. So Anna and Elsa, they realize the earth giants can sense Elsa's powers. So they decide to like go ahead and leave with Olaf, even though they have no idea where Sven and Kristoff are. They
Leave him
leave
behind.
him. They just leave him with these people that they just met. I feel like that's a little dramatic, but you know.
I had an issue with them not at least like telling.
Like they don't even look for him. They're just like, we have to go.
let's go.
Now.
Let's just
I'm
go.
like, can you not wait like
he'll be
5
fine.
minutes to find Kristoff? He matters.
He matters. Hashtag Christoph matters. 2K2K. Not 2K2K. Whatever. Anyway.
Here
2000. Year 2000. 2000.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah. So Anna and Elsa go off on their little adventure. They come across their parents' ship.
Well, before that,
Yes.
we have a song.
one of the
This is
greatest.
my second favorite song of the
Yeah.
movie, guys. Like, Into the Unknown is amazing, but I literally cried, laughed all the way through this next part. You want to take it from here?
Sure. So Kristoff gets ready to propose with a lot of reindeer and Ryder helping him out.
Awkwardly, a
He
lot of
sees
reindeer.
a figure walking forward he thinks is Anna. All these, with the leaves or something come up, the lights, perfect butterflies, and will you marry me? And it's the North Aldrin leader. And she says, no.
No.
He tells him that Anna, Elsa, and Olaf are gone. And of course, Kristoff is crushed because
These
no
are my
one
people,
told him.
and they left me.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't remember what the song was. Now I got it.
And so
Yeah,
he
the
sings
80s.
Yes.
about, what was it called? What's the name of the song?
I don't know.
It's your second favorite. What
I
is
don't know
the
what the
name?
name is, but it's when you're
I did
gone.
not know these things.
But it is like a boy band from the 80s music video.
It's
and it is
so
so funny.
Lost in the Woods, I think is what it is, right?
Yes, Lost in the Woods. And it's so good. And
Yep.
the reindeer are backup singers. I love
Oh, that was the best part.
Lost in the Woods, that's what it's called. So good.
And
it's
all
just...
the camera angle.
Yes, every part about it. You have to watch that song. Disney Plus right now. Watch it.
Yeah.
So it's just hilarious the way they do it. But it's all about him, being lost in the woods without her, and he can't find her, and he's chasing after her. And it's really sad, but funny.
is.
So
And I love the North Aldrin lady when she told them they left. She's like, "We're going. You can come if you want," and just walks away.
she's a little sassy thing.
She is.
I love
she
her.
is.
She's a little sassy thing. So anyway, so after the song "Lost in the Woods,"
Oh, but I do like one of the lines in the song, which is so good. And he's like, "And you're gone, and of course it's fine," because he knows like she has important things to do, and he fully supports her in trying to like save her sister and save the kingdom. But he's sad. But I thought it was good that he was like supportive of them, and he understood, even though he was sad.
it was very sad. It was very unfair to him.
It was.
It was.
Then we have like Anna and Elsa heading to find the voice, and Elsa is calling, trying to find the voice to call it back. And then we have Olaf, who's
Echoing.
oh my gosh, it's horrible. It sounds so bad. And Anna is trying to be nice and is like, I think we should only have one person. And he's like, you're absolutely right. Elsa's really pitchy.
Good line. Good line.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So they find their parents' ship
Yes.
wrecked up north, and they're thinking, how is this possible? Because they are shipwrecked in the Southern Sea,
Yeah.
or so they think.
And it's definitely not the Southern Sea.
So I had a question about this, and it was, isn't there like a theory that they were going to the Little Mermaid's wedding? That's where their ship was going to.
No.
No.
Tangled.
Tangled Wedding. I knew it was another movie.
Yeah.
The Tangled Wedding, and the ship went down on the way back.
And the ship went down. I can't remember if it's on the way there or the way back, but there's a theory, a fan theory, that the ship went down on the way to the wedding, and on the island they're Tarzan's parents.
Whoa! What?
Have you heard that extension as
I
well?
heard that one.
That they're
great
Tarzan's original parents.
But I guess this kind of doesn't add up then, does it? Because we're in the North
Theory
Sea.
shot.
Yeah.
Theory shot, which that was a big theory, and if you might be aware of it, and I have to believe a little bit that they put some more specifics in here to say no, this is a story by itself. It's not
Probably.
it's not for you to link together with your crazy theories.
However,
They're okay, yes.
at the coronation,
In the first movie at the end.
end, we do see Rapunzel and Flynn Rider or
There's a
Eugene
glimpse of her.
Walking
yeah.
in.
walking in. So there is that little hint. So it wasn't like an unfounded theory. It was a solid theory.
But I think we can say they definitely died after this movie.
Yes.
Because when they go to the ship, they're obviously distraught, but of course, what did Olaf teach us? Water has memory. And so Elsa pulls the water with her powers and kind of lets the water ice tell us a story of how the ship went down, and they see her dad kind of protecting their mom as they go down, so they went down
Sweet.
together. But they hear a lot of voices, and they find
Like a black box in a plane.
which I love. So apparently,
There's always a watertight capsule.
Arendelian ships have these watertight capsules, and
That's where they keep their maps, I guess.
where they keep their
Yeah.
maps, and they're like, we can find it. And Olaf says, why don't they just make? It makes you wonder why they don't make the whole ship out of that material. And I love, because
Valid
if you're
point.
familiar with the black box on a plane. Like everybody, that's a running joke. Why don't they just make the whole plane out of that
Out of that.
material? You know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. So, but they find a map, and it's a map that has a part they've never seen before,
Yes.
which is
Out of Holland.
Otta Holland,
Otta Holland.
up north. And so they realize their parents did not die on the Southern Sea; they died on the Dark Sea.
Dark
is it-
Sea? Yeah.
Is it the Dark Sea?
It sounds good.
I don't think it's the Black Sea.
I think it's
the Dark Sea.
It's the Dark Sea.
I
The
think
Dark
so.
Sea.
So
Yeah. And then at this point, Elsa realizes, like, Elsa is really upset because she thinks that she killed her parents. But Anna has a nice little thing of like, hey, you're not responsible for their decisions. It's going to be fine. But Elsa realizes she really just kind of needs to finish their mission. Like, she won't have peace until she's finished her parents' mission. But she also knows it's too dangerous for Anna. And sends Anna and Olaf away in a frozen canoe.
Sliding
Yeah.
away. Fast.
against their will, they
Against
were
their
not
will.
happy.
They were very
Happy.
upset. They thought they were going with her. They thought they were like in this together, and she sends them away. And Olaf is mad, and he was really cute when he was mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She intended to send them back on a frozen path, I think, to the other people.
yeah.
But Anna took one of Olaf's arms and tried to steer.
Which
it.
how did that work? It's just like
I
twigs.
don't
It's
know.
like
That
oh.
was weird.
He's got a strong arm. He's got permafrost
Isn't
going
it,
for
this is
him.
when they see the earth giants, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
because instead of the frozen path, they land in a river, and the river goes right through. Apparently, the earth giants sleep
she
in the
put them
river
in
during the
danger.
day. She did. Well, it was Anna's fault. If she had just stayed on the path, she
True.
might have been safe. Who knows?
Truth is true.
But anyway,
Yeah. So
we
they
see.
kind of get
yeah.
stuck in a little cave for the time being because they were trying to avoid earth giants. And
Went down a waterfall, an underground waterfall.
which is super cool.
They need
Super
to make
cool.
that into a Disney ride.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that'd be
yes,
cool.
yes. And then we've got Elsa who's trying to cross the Dark Sea, and that Dark Sea is crazy.
Oh yeah, that was a
It's
cool
super-
scene.
It's
That was
super
cool.
intense, but like she finally kind of gets going, and then she kind of like makes it over the initial waves because everybody knows when you're going out to sea, like getting over those first few waves is really hard. And then we have the water spirit, which is actually a water horse, which is super cool. But he's attacking her, and he's making it really hard for her. What a jerk.
So she's trying to get through the waves and he keeps knocking her down, back in.
Yeah.
I love and this was the teaser trailer for this movie months
Yes.
ago,
Mm-hmm.
was her
Yeah.
just trying to run on the water, like so
Shooting
she-
ice at
Yeah.
it.
shooting
yeah,
ice at it.
that was
and
really
kinda-
cool.
That was cool. So
Like when I saw her at the ocean, I was like, "This is the part where this happens."
I've been waiting for this for months.
We finally understand. But she tames the water spirit. Like, it's a rough battle. It's the hardest one that she's had to tame yet.
But I loved it because it mirrored like breaking a horse.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
so cool how she does it. I thought they did a really good job with that part.
Definitely, yeah.
What if she would have died during that battle with the horse? He took her down and she just drowned.
That's really sad.
The movie ends there.
Sorry,
folks.
it got dark. In
And
the dark
that's all,
sea.
that's all we got.
The dark
We give this movie a -5.
Oh, but she like rides the water spirit and she turns it into a frozen horse, which is super cool because she like controls it a little bit and rides it all the way
That's cool.
into Otta Holland, which is a frozen river, a glacier, which
That's
is
cool.
super cool. This song, I'm not gonna lie, I cried at. Like, it was so good.
They did the thing right before the song.
Yes.
So if anyone knows what the thing is, it's when a movie or TV show, but generally a movie, uses its name in it. And I like the title. And so she sees Otta Holland as the glacier, and she's like, "It's frozen." And I'm like,
Oh, I thought you were going to say, it's Frozen too.
That would have been too good. But
It's
no.
Frozen, the sequel.
It's Frozen. So I like when they do the thing. It always excites me. I'm always going to point that out in the future. It's called
was
The
like,
Thing.
what
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
They did the thing.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They did the thing. I've
the
coined
thing.
it, the thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Totally
It's a popular
official
thing.
thing.
I think people do that. I wasn't the first, so anyway. It's the thing. I get excited about the thing. So sorry. Your third favorite song in the movie?
I mean, I love the song,
probably
but
my
I
seventh.
cried. This is my emotional like point of just I was weeping.
Ashley
I'm not-
did too. She
I'm not
cried
gonna
in
lie.
this one.
And I watched it twice in theaters, and both times I cried. And then when I watched it at home for the third time, I got misty-eyed. But I didn't cry. I'm getting better at it. But
Pulled herself together.
I did. But she's like walking through this frozen river, and the voice is calling to her, and she's calling after it, and she's really excited because she's like realizing like this is my destiny, this is what I am meant to be. And you start having memories of her mom pop up, and it's like really emotional. And then we get deeper and deeper into this frozen river, and she starts seeing the truth about what happened way back when, and how her grandfather had actually put up the dam to hurt the Northuldra people. And he didn't think anyone should have like magical powers, and that like they were going to come after the Arendelians. And so he put it up to kind of like really hurt them. And then we find out as she gets deeper and deeper, and it's getting really cold and really dark, and Elsa herself starts freezing, which was shocking. I didn't know that was going to happen. But she finds out that her grandfather actually attacked the Northuldra leader, and he was weaponless.
And he started the war.
So the whole war, all this fear that the Arendelians had against Northuldra, was because her grandfather did
he's an
something evil.
idiot.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So they mentioned early on when they were in the forest with the Northuldra people, and the scarf kind of had some symbols and stuff on it and they pointed to the four. It was kind of a square thing, and the four corners were the spirits, but in the center there was a little symbol, and that was the fifth spirit. So in that song we find out that Elsa is the fifth spirit, unites the spirits to kind of the world here, and I loved that part.
Yes.
I will say, the whole thing about her mom showing up and like, it's you, I didn't get that, because her mom isn't, there was nothing magical about her mother. She was Northuldran, and the Northuldran people are spirit-led, they say, and
They're
the
just people.
Arendelian do what?
But they're just people.
But they're just people. They don't have spirit,
The forest
powers
is
or anything like
enchanted,
that.
but not them.
Right, so Elsa's the fifth spirit because she has a spirit, but she is a person, she unites. But there was nothing, so I don't understand how her mom was there.
Well, yeah.
That part lost me a little bit. I'm fine with her being the fifth spirit, and especially with her parents kind of coming from both places and uniting. That worked for me. And in the moment, I was like, yes, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
And the more I've thought about it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
But I'm wondering, like, if she knew, like, if she had figured it out, because she had the shawl and she had heard the rumors of a fifth spirit, and if she kind of figured out who Elsa was and wanted confirmation, and so water has memory. But
Ooh, she was speaking to her from the beyond or something.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like she had figured it out, and that's why they were going to Otta Holland, was to confirm that she was the fifth spirit.
It definitely makes you think. I definitely think her mom probably figured it out or knew because Elsa's got powers. However, they go on the ship to figure out like what's going on with Elsa. So maybe they were looking for confirmation, and they kind of knew. But that's her parents died on the ship on the way to figure it out. So she probably had rumors but didn't know for sure. I don't know. Something for you to chew on, folks. Write us
Yeah.
and let us know. What did you think about that part?
Yes.
With her mom. I like everything up until her mom. And I thought it was really great they got to sing together. That was a powerful moment. It just doesn't connect, in my opinion, for mom to be there at that moment. Every other aspect of it, I'm with. But just that one, I was just like, eh.
And even if there is a way that it all made sense, you have to think about it way too hard to make that connection. And
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I didn't like how they did that.
I loved it. I was here for it. I gave it a moment of
Not
doubt.
everybody has a great brain like you do.
I did love, I said it, I'll say it again, I loved how they got to kind of sing a duet, because her mom's always had, a small part, because they died shortly after the beginning of the first one, and we get just the brief part of them at the beginning, which
The
was
lullaby.
larger than the first one. We have the lullaby, and then we hear her sing with her daughter. It's a good moment. It's a good moment, so.
And her mom has a great voice. It's beautiful. And just at the end, when Elsa is freezing, literally becoming a statue, she sends up one little memory to Anna. So Anna and Olaf receive like this snow flurry, and they receive the memory of, and then Anna knows that their grandfather was actually the one who started the war.
Yes.
But then Olaf starts flurrying
Away.
away. So Anna knows
Sad day.
Elsa's not okay, and Olaf says, I don't think Elsa's okay. Broke my heart.
This was
Touched
such
me deeply too.
Yes. Olaf.
The feels.
The feels.
Oh,
and
I'm
Anna
getting chills
just
just thinking about it.
chilled.
Oh.
My stomach's
Terrible.
flurrying. Anyway, Anna just holds Olaf as he flurries away, and so we see just out of the cavern. They find a way out, but it's too late. And out of the cavern, we see Gale kind of take his
Gale.
remains, for lack of a better word, and just puts them in a pile on the side.
No, she just puts it behind a waterfall. This looks like
Yeah.
a nice place.
and
And then
adds
he has
some
little
flowers.
flowers.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That was nice of Gale.
He and Gale are
wasn't it?
tight.
Here's a tribute.
It was sad. It was so sad. And then we have a great song from Anna. And I just thought this was such a real moment of like when you are hurting and you're sad and you don't know what to do. Someone had given her the piece of advice earlier on in the movie, just do the next right thing.
That was
And so-
Pappy.
Yep.
Grandpappy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Grandpappy Stone.
So she sings this great song about how, like, even though they're gone, she knows what she has to do, and she knows that she needs to fix what their grandfather started and all the havoc that he has created. And so she continues to do the next right thing. And so
And the next right thing is to break the dam. She realizes that the spirits prepared Arendelle by driving everyone out, because if the dam breaks, it's going to flood the fjord or whatever, and plain, and Arendelle's on that.
What was that first word?
Fjord. I think that's what they said, or the fjord.
Ford.
Ford.
It's spelled
Fjord.
the Fijord or something.
like that.
Fjord.
I just didn't know how to pronounce it correctly.
I don't know,
so-
something like that. Anyway, it's going to flood Arendelle on the unpronounceable thing. All right. But everybody, and Anna knows this, but everybody's been driven out. So the spirits were nice. They wanted to save the people.
The
so.
people were saved, but they're
Yeah.
going to wipe out the kingdom. So she, like, chases after the giants. You want to talk about this part?
She chases
Anna.
after the giants. And
But she has to do what first?
what does she do before the giants?
She gotta wake him up.
Oh yeah, she wakes up the giants. They're
They're all
asleep.
sleeping.
She screams at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they come after
anyway.
her. She's trying to get them
Throwing
to
the
come,
darts.
because she can't destroy this dam by herself.
No.
So
It's
Yeah.
a brilliant idea because they can throw some serious boulders.
the Arendellian soldiers are trying to protect the dam. They're like, "What are you doing?" And she explains. And they start hitting their sword on the shield again to bring the giants over.
But
They're
in
trying
the
to
middle
run.
of her run, this was another great Kristoff moment. We just needed to like highlight this because she's running with the giants chasing behind her towards the dam because she knows that she needs to like flood out the kingdom. Kristoff is very smart. He's been around the river and everything his whole life. He sold ice. I don't know if he still sells ice, but he sold ice in the first one. So he's very smart. He has a good idea of what's going on, but he doesn't question her judgment at all. He just rides up on Sven and says, "What do you need?" And she says, "I need to get to the dam." So doesn't question her decision, doesn't highlight the fact that this is going to wipe out her whole kingdom. He just is like, "All right, I got you," and helps her get to the dam faster.
Even though she abandoned him in the middle of his proposal, still helps her out.
In this,
Props.
throughout the whole movie, you see she defeats each element. Each one. She defeats... Tames, I should
That's
say.
what I like to say.
Yeah.
So she tames the tornado, which is the wind, with her ice powers. The second one was the fire, right? The salamander. She freezes the salamander, and they become friends. And then she tames the water horse, which I feel like they should have done all 4 elements before she got to the end at the truth. And then, but anyway, she goes. It's just kind of out of order. Doesn't matter. Gets
She
to the rock
encounters
giants,
them,
but like
she doesn't tame them, yeah.
she doesn't tame the giants.
Yeah.
So I
She-
think the taming of the giants is the destruction of the dam.
yeah.
Because that's a
guess.
natural, it's an unnatural part of Earth.
Yeah.
And they bring Earth back into the way it's supposed to, with the river
Yes,
flowing the
They
way
were
it's supposed
gentle
to.
afterwards with
Which-
her.
So you have like a,
Yeah.
it's not Elsa defeating all the elements, it's both sisters defeating all of them together.
Right.
Okay.
Which is
Or taming all of them
taming
together.
them together. Yeah.
Working with nature.
So, but the destruction of the dam and the returning of the water kind of brings unity back with all the elements. You see that little diamond thing in the sky, and Elsa is unfrozen
Yes!
and comes.
So like the dam breaks, all the water is rushing towards Arendelle, people are freaking out, and then because Elsa's unfrozen, she gets the water spirit and they go tearing off and put up a giant frozen wall of water and she saves Arendelle!
It's a
Yay!
wonderful moment.
It's such a great moment.
Yeah.
So, if each of you had one of the elemental powers besides, or I guess it could be ice as well. Which one of the 5 would you choose?
Water.
You choose water.
I love water. Water was cool. I like that horse.
Yeah,
That was cool.
What would you choose, Beth?
Oh, I don't know.
Fire.
That was my initial thought was
told you.
fire. I'm not gonna lie.
And it could be the same as each other.
Like I don't know why, but that was my initial thought.
I would definitely choose wind because I want to be able. I feel like I'd be able to fly.
That's, I mean, that's
I would choose wind.
You would choose wind too? Okay, we could be
Y'all
wind
are
buddies.
perfect together.
We should get married. Oh.
You should have a baby.
So then we just need Ashley can be the rock person
You're the rock.
because Ashley rocks.
Ashley, you're the rock.
Actually, you rock. I know.
We love you.
By the way, did you get Ashley's
I did.
rating? Okay.
I did.
Just for when we're ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
coming
Wondering.
up. Coming up.
It is.
Are we ready to conclude this thing?
Let's wrap it up. What happens, Beth? How does it end?
So, Anna is worried about the kingdom, but all of a sudden she sees a glinting off in the sea and then realizes it's Elsa.
On the horse,
horse.
riding on the sea.
Yes.
So cool.
It was very majestic.
It was.
It was so good. And Elsa has a new hairstyle and a new outfit because she's discovered she's the 5th spirit.
Every time she has self-discovery, it's a new outfit and
Yeah,
hairstyle.
that's true.
It's a different view.
I mean, that's what we do as women.
It is.
Well, okay. So one of my favorite parts of this movie, I forgot, is back
Oh,
when
yes.
it's back when she, after she sings the "Show Yourself" song in the glacier, and then she starts seeing, memories of the past. She kind of walks through her past first as she gets deeper. The lower she goes, the deeper it gets, and it shows just a little snippet of her singing "Let It Go." Here I am, and she goes ooh, like embarrassed by it, which I thought was so funny. They
It
just
was so-
embraced how cringeworthy it can be now to some people, and because you think about how poor parents at home would just have heard that song a million times.
Yeah.
And
So they all cringed with her, I'm
yes,
sure.
and, I think they mirrored that. I really appreciated that.
great.
So that was
We-
her original clothes change, and now we've got her here with her
Yeah, we
spirit
also
clothes.
had her moment with Hans.
Yes, and
she,
he was a memory, and she cracks him in half.
Yeah.
Hi. She's like, nope. That was a good part. That was a
Bye-bye.
good part. Yeah, that was good.
So yes, Anna and Elsa are reunited. Kristoff comes in with Sven and gives Elsa a hug. They're all excited. They rebuild Olaf, and Water has memory, so Olaf is golden. He is doing just great.
It was a good line, and she says, "Anna, I have to ask you a question. do you want to build a snowman? I love that, and
I
I
do
called
too.
it, and I was right. I was like, she's going to say, do you want to build a snowman?
You love it when you call those moments.
I love it when I call
they're
those
great
lines.
victories. And then we finally get the moment we've all been waiting for Kristoff, and he gets to propose.
Majestically on the seashore.
Yes, on the seashore with all of the people that they love, and it's great. And Anna says yes. She has a great reaction. They discover that Elsa's the fifth spirit, and yeah, everybody's happy. They're all excited. Arendelle is saved. There's a wedding coming up, and everyone's fine. So it was great. And then, like, all the people who were in the Enchanted Forest get to see the sky for the very first time.
And
In 30-some
Elsa.
years.
And Elsa leaves.
Yes, we do have this one last moment where after she's talked about I'm the fifth spirit, and she says we're the bridge between the two kingdoms and the people and the spirits. And so Elsa takes the Enchanted Forest and then hands over the queenship to Anna. So Anna is now Queen of Arendelle.
The one of the Northalgian people says, you belong up here. And so, honest queen. I didn't love that.
I did not either. I was about to say, that part bothered me. I was like, they spent so much time in the movie about how they want to be together, how Anna and Elsa want to be together and be close and all that. And then at the end, it's like they're in neighbor places. I mean, I guess they're still somewhat close because she talks about having her over for charades on Friday. But still, it's like
Gail
they're
delivering
so
messages.
distant now.
They are.
I
And,
was like,
I think they have a line towards end after Anna realizes Elsa's the fifth spirit, and Elsa says, Mother had two daughters, and a bridge has two sides or something. So kind of they're both, which I feel
like that was a
fine,
stretch.
but like I think the
Anna
fifth
doesn't
spirit
have
literally
power.
unites spirits
Yeah.
and people,
Yeah.
and so it's in one. But they're trying to stretch it to be like uniting the spirit and the just total human together. They're the bridge. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But-
a little bit of a stretch.
I mean, I definitely feel like Elsa fits the forest a little more, and Anna fits the kingdom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think you can just do that.
Also, yeah, I love the
wow.
idea of like they're both able to be like queens or rulers of their own elements, their own places. But they spent Anna spent so much time alone and isolated, and Elsa was isolated. And now that they finally have come together, and they may have had 3 years, but
Hopefully it was not 6 months.
Oh boy.
But if you've only had 3 years together and you've lost everyone else, why on earth would you move? I don't know.
I know.
I was like, can't you just rule Arendelle together?
They should have united Northuldra and Arendelle and
One
called it
kingdom.
something new. On
What was-
Elsa Land or something.
what was the? There was a scene at the end of the credits. What was it again? Remind me.
Yes.
Olaf is reenacting, like he reenacted for the
Oh,
soldiers the
that's
first one,
right.
he reenacts the second one.
Yeah.
To
I
the
like
big
The
frost
snowman,
giant
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and then all the little
Snow babies.
snow
Babies.
babies. And he says, and now because of that, we live. We live! It's a good moment.
That was great.
That was a good moment.
Do you think they will make a third one? And if they do you think that's a good idea?
No and no. I don't think it's a good idea. I also feel like they answered that question in the movie. And I appreciate when movies do this, and I think they did this. So after Olaf was brought back, he said, so is this something about, are we going to go, is this putting our lives in danger going to be a regular thing now or something? And Elsa says, no, we're done. And I think that was telling everybody this is the last movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that was what they were doing.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they should.
I don't think either. I think it's perfect as they left it. They shouldn't bring it up again.
I think we will have a short of the wedding.
That could
Yeah.
be.
Because I love the Yuletide short for Christmas was really good. So I think we will see a short with the wedding, but I don't think we will see anything else.
Though in
movie-wise.
Disney fashion, 10 years later they may revise it.
Who knows?
you know.
Yeah.
In about 15 years, we'll have a live action.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. Put it on the list.
Probably be pretty cool, especially with the effects we'd have in 15 years.
I would be interested to see how that would
Yeah.
turn out. But
So
I don't think they should. I think they answered.
It feels very complete.
It feels
as is.
complete. I didn't feel like the first one left you wanting answers for stuff, even though you don't know why Elsa's got powers and stuff. And this one didn't answer, but kind of completed it. It really did. I feel like we've closed the Frozen book. So, yeah.
What do you think about Anna being the queen? Do you think she would do a good job? like, I feel like she'd be a bit too ditzy, or I don't know. I don't see her as a good leader.
I think she proved herself. Like, in her moment of great sorrow and grief, like, she put herself and her feelings aside and did what she knew was right for her kingdom, and she was making an enormous sacrifice. Like, she sacrificed.
Well, do you think she'd be good like that on a day-to-day basis, making
I
judgment
mean,
calls?
obviously she's awkward and she's a little clumsy, but I think her heart is in the right place, and I think she proved herself. Like, when you need her to be a leader, she's going to be a leader.
I feel like she's going to struggle with that, but she's going to have
Kristoff.
Kristoff,
Yeah.
Kristoff.
who's going to be kind of more
That's
level
true,
with
yeah.
that stuff.
And most importantly, she'll have Sven.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the
Ben
most
is the real
important.
hero.
And Olaf. It's Olaf's world, and we're just living in it, right? But I feel
true.
she's got a good connection with the people, which is important, which Elsa really didn't have, when she became queen.
Not her fault,
It was
but yeah,
all
she
after.
didn't have it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about our ratings. Jennifer, what would you rate this movie? 1 out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8? I said an 8 prior, but I thought about the music more, and I think the music has pushed me to an 8.5.
Ooh, a music push.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. They did a very good job with it.
That was good music.
Olaf took me 8.5.
Olaf himself was an 8.5 for
Yeah.
sure. I actually initially thought an 8, so.
Ashley and I both said 8. I'm not
Look at
kidding.
this.
She's like, I gotta give you my rating, and
Nah,
she said 8,
hold
and I was
on.
like, that was mine too. And I was like, she said, are you serious? I was like, yeah, we had the same one last time. We got the same one this time too. We're united. That works.
So, I mean, really, it's 8.
If it comes to an
I was gonna call
8.1.
that.
You know math.
I almost, that was the exact
Oh, really?
number I was about to say too. I was like, pretty sure it's going to be like 8.1.
Well
So I know
done,
we're
well
short on
done.
time,
Yes.
but one last
No, you're
very
good.
important question. Which is better, Frozen or Frozen 2?
Jennifer.
Oh, let me come back to me. I
Okay.
don't know.
I liked them equally.
I didn't know we could
So-
give that option. He said which one was better.
That's my answer. Do you
I-
agree? Or do you need to think about it more?
I like both of them.
Okay.
I can't rank one over the other.
Okay.
I think they are both strong, but I do rank the second one just a bit more.
So interesting. I like the first one better, a little bit more. So, and I ain't mad at you for liking the second one. I don't have any story issues from the first one, and I had a couple in the 2nd one. They kind of made it, nah. But also, and you need to know this about me, I am a sucker for an original. Anything original is usually going to be, if it's a series of something, the original, if it's not first, it's high on the list just because it sets the story. I love that. And so the first one just still's kind of near and dear. But this is a spectacular
Really
movie
good.
right
Yeah.
behind it. So,
They were great.
yeah.
This was a fun one to
It was.
watch.
It was a good one.
If you haven't watched it, again, go see it. Or just rewatch it, because Olaf's recap, his lines are amazing. The songs are so good. So enjoy, guys. Enjoy.
And as the world is still crazy right now, we are not going to the movies still because you can't go. So we're still doing movies that you can
Streamable.
stream, that are streamable. This next one that we're going to do is actually Knives Out. You may or may not have seen it already, but it is. I looked it up before the show, and it is in Redbox for sure. So that's a way to look at it. You can either stream Redbox or go to an actual Redbox, or you can rent it digitally, like Amazon or wherever you can rent movies digitally. But it's definitely a great movie.
Definitely worth it to
It's
rent.
Absolutely.
So
I'm very
PG-13,
excited
so
to watch it again.
you might want to
yes.
watch it before the kids, but
Yeah.
it's very good.
Yeah, so we're excited, and we're kind of ramping up our how often it comes out. So we're going to try to do it once a week at least for now. So
Yeah.
hope you enjoy and tune in next Friday.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes. Kinley,
Kinley,
take
yeah.
us away.
And until next time, we go big tonight.